the Indian government suddenly announced that it would take a number of tough retaliatory measures against Pakistan, such as cutting off water and electricity supplies and expelling people. The relations between the two countries suddenly plummeted to a freezing point. This was because the most serious civilian attack in 25 years had occurred in Indian-administered Kashmir, resulting in the death of at least 26 people, including women and children. An extremist organization called the Resistance Front was responsible for this attack. Upon hearing about the attack, Narendra Modi immediately ended his visit to Saudi Arabia and directly returned to India to convene an emergency meeting. Modi said that the mastermind behind the attack would surely pay the price. He said with great certainty that there must be a country supporting this behind the scenes, and he directly pointed the finger at Pakistan. The next day, the Indian border forces directly cut off all the transportation lines between India and Pakistan. The police in New Delhi carried out inspections in all hotels. As soon as they found Pakistanis, they immediately expelled them. The Ministry of External Affairs of India revoked all the visas issued to Pakistani citizens and suspended all visa-related work. Pakistanis within the territory of India were required to leave within 3 days. Still not satisfied, Modi ordered the Indian Minister of Water Resources to immediately suspend the implementation of the Indus Waters Treaty and close all 6 sluice gates upstream. This river is the lifeline of Pakistan, as 83% of the country's farmland irrigation and half of its hydropower stations rely on it. Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif directly lashed out, saying that India was trying to let them die of thirst. He said that if India wanted them to starve to death, then they might as well meet on the battlefield. The JF-17 Thunder fighter jets jointly developed by China and Pakistan, fully loaded with missiles, took off to be on alert. The Pakistani General Staff issued an order, and all the RA-AD-2 missiles were aimed at the dams on the upper reaches of the Indus River, ready to perish together with India. The J-10ZE fighter jets purchased from China also made a collective appearance and were loaded with PL-15 missiles. These are specifically tailored to counter the Indian Rafale fighter jets. Pakistan also announced that it would close its airspace to India as of now. Indian aircraft are prohibited from entering the country. It suspended all trade with India. Indians in Pakistan with valid visas are required to leave the country within 48 hours. The Indian Navy immediately took action. The 45,000-ton INS Vikrant aircraft carrier, accompanied by 30 MiG-29K fighter jets, headed for the Arabian Sea. The Israeli phased array radar on this aircraft carrier is capable of monitoring half of Pakistan's coastline. The carrier-based early warning helicopters conduct round-the-clock patrols. At this moment, the front line in Kashmir could break out into war at any time. The Indian Army's T-90 tank formations have been assembled in the desert area, while the Pakistani Army has already moved the Chinese-made SH-15 truck-mounted howitzers onto the hilltops. Along the 200-kilometer front line of the India-Pakistan border, the nighttime lights are 3 times brighter than usual. Both sides are rushing to repair fortifications. Indian Foreign Minister Subramanyam Jaishankar flew to Washington to seek assistance, holding in his hand the photos of the scene of the clash. Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi took a photo with the J-10C in Beijing, with the banner that reads "Long live the China-Pakistan friendship" as the background. Turkey suddenly announced that it would urgently deliver armed helicopters to Pakistan. However, Saudi Arabia quietly tripled the number of guards at its embassy in India. The Islamic world is also taking sides. If the situation gets out of control, not only will 1.4 billion people in South Asia be plunged into turmoil, but regional cooperation such as the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and the Belt and Road Initiative will also face challenges. Peace remains the most pressing call on this scarred land. So why did such a thing happen? India claims that there is a country backing the attack, and they suspect it is Pakistan. However, in my opinion, Pakistan is actually in a disadvantaged position and on the defensive. Obviously, there is no reason for it to launch an attack on its own initiative, let alone an attack targeting civilians. Moreover, there are several terrorist organizations within Pakistan, such as the Balochistan Liberation Army, BLA, and the Islamic State in Khorasan Province, ISKP, which are beyond the control of Pakistan. For example, the BLA's financial backer is the United States. Everyone must have heard of the United States Agency for International Development. But some time ago, the BLA launched terrorist attacks on Chinese enterprises in an attempt to undermine the China-Pakistan economic corridor. It was driven away by the joint counter-terrorism efforts of China and Pakistan. I remember that I previously released an explanation of the joint counter-terrorism efforts between China and Pakistan. Those who are interested can go and take a look. As for the suddenly emerged extremist organization called the Resistance Front, I still believe that its ultimate goal is to undermine the relationship between China and Pakistan and the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Because if a terrorist attack occurs within Pakistan, China and Pakistan will surely raise the banner of counterterrorism. However, if the India-Pakistan war is instigated, China has no reason to intervene, and this will inevitably affect the progress of economic development between China and Pakistan. Don't you think so?